Yo, what's up, guys? Happy Monday, Happy New Year, Happy 2026. Welcome back to our live stream here on Twitch. I'm your humble host, Vanafreak, aka Moistmaster Flex. Welcome back. First stream of the year. Woo! Yeah. I'm also going sober for quite a while too. I tend to do this every January where I just go sober. I mean, I don't really like do drugs or anything. I'm just like a casual drinker, but it's nice to have like a nice break for a while. Last year I did like 5 months straight. I did like January to May, and then I cut it off at my birthday in June. I might do the same again this year, but for sure I'm doing January, a little dry January. And I'll probably keep it going. We'll see. But yeah, welcome back. Hope you guys had a good New Year's, a good Christmas, good weekend, and a good Monday to start the year. Just going to go through our tunes here. We have Gothic from myself and Rihanna Rose on Bite This. We actually have a remix compilation coming out next Friday on the 16th. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. I think the remixes are Two Below, Andrew Lux, Adame Twins, Vocult, and Nightshade. Then here on the second one is Listen from Dare 80 Dutch Danis. Praise the Lord, free download from myself and Disco on SoundCloud. Need You from Two Below on Thick Freakness. We had our best of compilation come out in December. I have another free download on Garrett Shared, little Ghost Town DJs. And then my last release of last year, Feel No Way with Eric Mark and Dread MC, that's out now. And lastly, my first release of this year is on my label, Thick Freakness. Track is called Ascension for myself and Phantasm. Please go pre-save. That would be greatly appreciated. I would love that. All right. Yeah, go check out those tunes. And then we have 2 shows coming up this month, towards the end of the month. First, we have our regular after hours on January 24th. That's Candle, Dare 80, myself, Lady Meow, Siren, and Smile. Downtown LA from midnight to 5 a.m. It's free with RSVP. And then our second show is the weekend after. Also in downtown LA, this is going to be a ticketed event, but it's super cheap. It's only $5. We're going to be playing Garage all night. That's Chuck Shadow, myself, Dutch Danis, and Dare 80 going back to back. Rihanna Rose and Cruz. So yeah, lots of artists from my label. And then lastly, our sponsor here, Eargasm Earplugs. If you guys need earplugs for shows, go grab some. Use code Phantom10 for 10% off. Yeah. Hell yeah, brother. I just realized that we hit our follow goal probably a couple weeks ago. I have to update that. But yeah, let's just start diving in. For those of you guys have been here before, you guys know the deal. I take these on the Google form. Take your guys' submissions on the Google form. First come, first serve. So whoever submitted first will get the track heard first. You guys must be present in the chat when I call your name to get your song reviewed. No genre restrictions. I will listen to everything and anything. The tracks must be unreleased and preferably private SoundCloud. I also I'm okay with Dropbox, but definitely don't do Google Drive. I hate Google Drive. And yeah, if you guys want to skip the queue, you guys are more than welcome to skip the queue. You guys just have to use your channel points or send money to the bottom left there. What's up, guys? Send money to the bottom left there. Venmo, Cash App, PayPal. And you can skip the line. The amount is entirely up to you. But yeah, this is what we're doing. Okay. Let me just read out the queue real quick. We got Reese Rodriguez up first. After that, Estos. I don't know if I'm saying that right or wrong. CEO Dread, Don C, Desmoda, Nico, Akina, Misguided, Leonard Ellis, and Spencer Arnold. So yeah, like I said, this is the queue. You must be present in the chat to get your song reviewed. And you guys are more than welcome to skip the line by either using your channel points or sending money to the bottom left there. So first, do we have Reese Rodriguez in the chat? Do not submit on Discord, por favor, senor. Okay, you're here. Cool. Let's do it. Oh, I also picked up the second submission you made because you said that was the most recent one. So, yeah, I made sure to grab that one. Nice. Right, clack and our mute now. Uh-oh. Scarlet and monitors went clack. Hopefully you didn't get a short or something. That would be the fucking worst, man. The fucking worst, man. Oh, man. But yeah, that was dope, man. That was a fucking vibe. It sounds like the chat was really vibing with this tune as well. Leonard Ellis said, groovy, nice, funky beat. I aim to get this level of flow one day. Man, that vocal is so good. Vibes, oonce, oonce, oonce. This is almost progressive house. Dope call and response. Yes, I agree with all of the above. So yeah, my notes here. Very nice kick. I think this kick is like perfect for this track, the sound, the context. I think it works very well. Super punchy, cuts through the mix, very nice. I really like the hats too. Have a really nice rhythm that you're playing. The vocal is amazing. I really love the vocal. It's really cool vocal. I like the processing on it. What I probably would have done is like subtly introduce it, because like you have probably about 8 bars of just like intro, which is just kind of like your mix-in. But the vocal kind of just like blam, just kind of like bam, comes out of nowhere. I would have like subtly introduced it a little more slowly, as opposed to just like bam, like just like right in your face. Even if you can kind of keep it where it's at right now, but I would probably just like start filtering, start using that filter on that vocal, so like you're slowly bringing it in, so it's not just all full force right from the get-go. Yeah, run some ad-libs or chops first. I think that's probably a good move. Really nice lead and bass line, super groovy. I also put here, it's not entirely obvious where the break build is until that drop comes. And I only knew that it was the drop because like basically all the elements were there. So what I would suggest is I would probably strip back a little bit more elements into the intro, from the intro going into the drop. And you basically did exactly what I was thinking on the second break buildup. So let me see if I can just play that real quick. Kind of what I was looking at, because like the second break here, you use a lot of filtering and stuff, so you're kind of pulling out a lot of the elements. But this first kind of break build is not so obvious. It kind of feels, I don't want to say rushed, because it's not really rushed. This is a pretty short intro, but I think what I'm getting at is I think you can probably strip back a little bit on this intro portion. You could probably mute the kick a little bit more. And by mute, I just mean like throw a filter on it, kind of like how you did it here. Maybe even just pull out some other elements, or just filter a bunch of stuff. And that way it kind of achieves the kind of, strip backness that I'm kind of talking about. But yeah, the drop itself is really dope. Super vibey. I put here, feels like a pool party or lounge song. Very nice, sound selection, layers and strings and pads and all that stuff. Very solid call and response. Very solid arrangement overall. Somebody did say, yeah, Desmoda said it does get a little bit loopy at sometimes. But I think just some like filter automation would really just kind of do the trick. Filter automation and maybe even some reverb automation could probably do it. Really nice melodic interplay in the second break. That's where like kind of like where the call and response comes in. Nice use of filtering also. I think you did a really good job with filtering in that break section. I think you can kind of apply that same idea to the drops, and I think that'll kind of give you some nice variations and changes and evolution in the arrangement. Nice minimal second drop. You kind of just like went very much like just like kick and bass line, which is a very typical thing to do, kind of like on the second drop, kind of like as a fake out. Although it does feel a little bit empty, so I might do the same thing where I kind of bring in the vocal, but in a more like minimal aspect. It doesn't have to be like the full phrase. It could probably just be like little chops here and there, just so that it doesn't feel so empty. I think the kick bass line is a really good idea, but after like 4 to 8 bars of that, it just starts to get kind of loopy, and it needs a little bit more interest to it to kind of keep it moving forward. Nice secondary melody in the second drop. I think that's a really nice variation there. And then the last piece of advice I hear, that main organ lead that you have coming in towards the end, I really didn't notice it until the end, but it does come in a bit dry. So I would probably, especially for this kind of like style of deep house, you definitely want to put some more reverb on, especially those organs and stuff. Yeah, that one, that boop 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 boop. I just think it needs a touch more reverb, even though it's more of a bass line. You can just put some reverb and have it just affect the top end. You don't have to put the reverb in. You can just put an EQ on that reverb and like have it only affect a certain portion of that sound. That way you don't get like all this mud in that lower mid range. Nah, I'm saying. But yeah, overall, really dope tune. Love the vocal. Really nice vibes. Good job, Reese Rodriguez. Hell yeah. Great job. All right. We got S Doos. How do you say her name? I want to make sure I get it right. Do. S Dows. S Dows. Okay. Some drum and bass. Let's give this a listen. Yeah, dude, that's fucking sick. I love the sound design here. The sound design here is my literally my favorite part. There's lots of like really cool shit going on with that mid bass, those leads, really nice call and response stuff going on. Lots of variations. Yeah, really cool idea. Um, really nice sound selection and sound design for sure. Nice horn in the intro. I think the horn could also probably use a little bit more reverb and delay tail. Just kind of make it feel like very big and spacey. The sound design is super cool. And the buildup is very nice. And the drop section is fantastic. I love the leads and the mid bass and the sound design. It's fucking dope. My main issue with the drops though is that there's literally it doesn't feel like there's any sub at all. So it feels like it's it should be drum and bass, but right now it just feels like it's just drum. um, so really, I think it's a really easy fix. Is just put in a sub, and this track's gonna bang even harder, honestly. Um, and if you already have a sub in there, I think it just needs to be bumped up. Because I was getting a lot more bass in this intro kind of build section, but once the drop came in, there was like absolutely no sub. So yeah, main thing there is that the sub needs to be in, especially on those drop sections. Really cool sound design. It would also be great to have some transitional effects, so maybe some risers, some white noise stuff, especially going into here. Let me see if I can see my cursor here. There's this like little break right here. If you had some like transitional effects, little riser, and then like some white noise, and then another riser, I think that would kind of help smooth out these transitions because this kind of feels like a drop off. It's very sudden going from the drop section into this break. I think not so much on the builds. The builds are I feel like they're a little bit more anticipated, but going in from this drop section into this break seems very kind of sudden. Same thing over here. You could probably, again, use some like riser and then some like white noise going into here. Yeah. I think the length of this track is pretty much perfect. No issues with that or the arrangement. I think arrangement wise, it's fine. And I really like this vocal. The vocal is super sick. I think mix wise, it just needs to be louder. It needs more reverb, so it gives it some more depth and space. And I also feel like it should be introduced sooner in the track because it's kind of like the main idea almost. And it's kind of a shame that it comes in so late in the game. It feels like it should be kind of introduced like in the intro, probably. Intro and then probably in this like little break. Obviously, you don't need to use the full phrase. Maybe just like a little hook, just to kind of introduce it. You can kind of get away with using the full phrase here in this kind of bigger, longer break. But at least as long as you have some sort of hooky portion before each drop, I think that's kind of primarily what you want to aim for. Just to kind of introduce that idea. So it feels a lot more seamless throughout the entire track. Yeah, and that's pretty much all I had. It's a really fucking dope idea, honestly. Really, all you need, like I said, is just sub and introduce that vocal a little sooner, and then just some transitional effects. And I think it's all good. Yeah, no problem, man. This was a dope listen. Thanks for sending it in. Hell yeah. All right. Up next we got CEO Dread, Black Frequency 00, 00. Got this interesting picture of a cardinal, of all things. CEO Dread, are you here, CEO Dread? Black Frequency. CEO Dread, Black Frequency. Going once. Going twice. Okay, no black frequency. Do we have Don C? Don C in the chat. Adderall and cigarettes from Don C. Adderall and cigarettes from Don C. Don C going once. Don C going twice. Oh, this is okay. This is you, Krista Crook. This is you, Don C. Okay, cool. Gotcha. All right, let's give this one a listen. Yeah, just a whip so far, but yeah, I like a lot of stuff that's going on here. Um, Fire intro effects. The vocal is cool, but I think more variation. Yeah, I agree with Desmoda. Maybe some more variation with that vocal. I think it's a really good kind of like ear candy almost. And it's a nice like kind of layer. But it definitely feels more like a secondary vocal as opposed to like a vocal hook. Um, so yeah, maybe something like a little bit more hooky could also help in this kind of break build section. Um, but yeah, let me go through my notes here. Fat sub in the intro. This sub is fantastic. I really love the sub. The intro is a little bit long, but is that the worst thing? I think obviously this is just a work in progress. It's just like a start of an idea, so you're definitely going to go through and develop it further. Sick drums. I really like the sounds you picked for your drums, kick, hats, snare, all that stuff. Really nice sound selection. Your build-up could probably use some more tension. Risers, maybe like a snare roll. Just something to kind of just like build up. It is called a build, so yeah, make sure that there's a lot more tension there, more energy going into the drop section. The drop is sick. I do like the sub. I do like the groove here, but it just feels like a continuation of the intro. So it needs either another new element, which will probably help you which will probably be achieved with the help from a strong vocal hook, or the other idea that I probably have is that you could probably strip down the intro even more, so that you're not using all of your elements from the get-go, and saving more of them for the drop. But I would still suggest having some sort of other lead in the drop section, besides the vocal, the little kind of stutter vocal. It's a nice layer. I think it definitely works in this track, but I think it needs. I think the drop needs some sort of stronger lead to kind of drive this. So like the reality is, this is a very strong foundation for a track, but it needs more. Yeah, it just needs like a strong lead and then a hook to kind of get you like this main idea that you can kind of build off of. But I think it's real. This is really an idea worth developing out, though, for sure. Yeah, the drop will definitely have more impact with the more minimal intro as well, for sure. But yeah, it's honestly, I think it's a great start. I'm not knocking anything here. I think you used a lot of like really cool sounds, and everything works really well and pretty seamlessly. So, yeah, really, my only piece of advice is just keep developing it, keep working on the arrangement here, and kind of working on that drop for sure. Hell yeah, good job, Don C. Oh right. Desmoda. Yeah, no problem, man. Desmoda, you still here? You got an ad. It's been a while since you've submitted anything, Desmoda. Hell yeah. All right, let's do it. Nice one. Yeah, super vibey. You can definitely get like kind of lost in this, where you're just kind of just like groove into it. Um, really love the kind of like more breakbeaty type of vibe. Um, both with the kick rhythm and the kind of drum samples that you're using here. Yeah, super cool idea. Definitely feels like a Desmoda tune. Nice breakbeat intro. Really nice sound selection and sound design, especially the drums. Really like the drums that you picked. Love the filtering. Really cool way to add in layers as it kind of just evolves over time. Um, yeah, overall, I really dig the idea. I really dig the sounds that you picked. I think probably the main thing for me is arrangement, and it could probably use a stronger hook or lead, or I think arrangement will probably help this. So what I'm getting at is that it's not immediately apparent where the intro and the drop kind of are separated. And I think if you kind of like I said on one of the other tracks, I think if you kind of start pulling out more sounds as like a kind of break section, you kind of did it here at towards the end, and it makes it very apparent to the listener that we're going into like a new section. Yeah, and that kind of signals to me like, oh, this is a break, and we're gonna go into a drop. But like over here, it's not entirely apparent where the intro ends and where the drop begins, because it feels like the drop doesn't actually begin until like 2 minutes. But I mean, you might disagree with me, but you might tell me that it actually comes in sooner, which I would also be inclined to agree with. That's which is why I'm saying like it's not entirely apparent where the intro ends or where the drop begins, because my idea is that it comes in right. But that might just be the second drop. And see, it feels like, yeah, is I mean, yeah, I don't think it's like honestly a terrible thing, but I think it's a really easy fix, to be honest. If your plan is to like make the main drop here at 2 minutes, then you probably just need to like kind of do some filtering, pull out some elements, so you get a little bit more of a drastic breakdown. Or if it starts at 1 minute here, again, just do the same thing. You kind of have to just like do pull out some more elements, do some more filtering, and then build it back up. And I think you know exactly how to do that. I don't think it's like something like out of your wheelhouse or anything that's too crazy. Um, but yeah, also like I was also thinking it would be kind of cool to hear some sort of kind of more like monotone spoken word type of vocal, almost like poetry on this. That I think that'd be kind of cool. Um, Kind of has that vibe to it. Then it's not necessarily something that you have to do, but it would be cool to kind of experiment with that. But yeah, good job, Desmoda. Really groovy stuff here. Love the break beats. Hell yeah. Um, Happy to help. All right. Do we have Nico in the chat? Nico in the chat. Nico in the chat. Nico in the chat. Hey, yes, sir. Yes, sirski. All right. I'm gonna go pee real quick, and then we'll dive into your tune here. All right, let's do Nico's tune here. Nice. Yeah, super groovy here. Very nice low end. Lots of cool sound design stuff. Super groovy and bouncy, I agree. Solid low end and groove. Really cool lead that very, very nice melody for that. Very hooky, very memorable. Nice transition effects, especially going in from this intro into this breakdown. Nice filtering, really nice build, very good tension there. Really sick drop. Love the lead and the variations. You definitely keep it interesting in that drop section. I feel like the drop is a little bit short though. I would probably extend both drops at least by another 8 bars. So if you're adding another 8 bars, that means at least adding in some additional layer or some other new element. And it can be something very simple like another drum layer, brides, open hats, stuff like that. So yeah, definitely something to keep in mind because this track is pretty short. 2 minutes 17 is pretty short. So yeah, I think especially for house tune, you can kind of like ride out with the groove at least a little bit longer. So like another 8 bars at the bare minimum. But you can go upwards of like 16 if you find a way to kind of keep it interesting and keep the listener interested and hooked in. Very solid flow overall. I think again you did a really good job with the transition effects, so it's really easy to kind of go in between sections. Feels very seamless. I did put here though that the second build going into the second drop falls flat as opposed to the first build going into the first drop. I think there's a lot more tension and energy being played with here as opposed to here. You can kind of even see it in the waveform. This feels kind of very abrupt, but there's like almost like a, like a build. You can kind of like even see the build up here in this waveform. I think that the reality is that would kind of work if you had a much shorter breakdown. Say if you're doing like a 3-drop kind of track, a 3-drop track, you could probably get away with doing something like that much more subtle. But if this is your final drop here, you definitely need a lot of energy and tension going into that build up. And the second drop needs to be even more epic than the first, I think. But yeah, I think this is a very strong idea for, just for a work in progress. So yeah, main thing is like, I would say make the both drops a little bit longer by at least 8 bars. More energy and tension in that second build, and then probably something a little bit different on that second drop, just to kind of make it more epic and energetic. You could also use a really strong vocal hook here. It doesn't have to be anything like super crazy. You don't have to get like a fucking rapper or something. But yes, at least something that kind of differentiated from a lot of other tracks. I think if you have some like really strong vocal hook in here, that would be very nice, I think. But yeah, overall very solid idea. Good job, Nico. Nico.sound. Hell yeah. All right. Let's keep moving forward. Do we have Akina in the chat? The man's Akina. Akina. I don't see him in the chat group in here. I don't think he's here. So we got Misguided, then Leonard Ellis, Spencer Arnold, and then Monia Perkin. Just FYI, that's where you guys are in the queue. That's all the submissions we have for now. So only 4 more submissions for the night. Let's go with Misguided. Sick. Yeah, it definitely feels like a kind of like really nice blend between liquid and kind of more like old school drum and bass. I really love the sound design, but also that main melody that the bass line is playing. Dun 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 na 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 na. Yeah, super sick. Love a lot of the sound selection and sound design here. Um, Going with the intro, really nice arpeggios, feels a little bit Blade Runner esque. Um, I might bring some of those pads down in the mix, a bit. Really sick drums, solid kick and snare. Really nice sound design and low end. Some of these leads do get a little bit loud, so maybe I think you need to just do a solid mix down session to kind of get everything sort of in context. I think the main focus should be those drop sections where the bass line is running. Dun, 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 dun. I think that's at a really solid level. I think everything else should kind of be built around that, especially mix wise. So like there shouldn't be anything else that's louder than that sound. Um, but yeah, needs a solid mix down session. Really sick bassline melody. I absolutely love that bassline melody. It's very hooky. Definitely gets stuck in your head. I feel like that sound can probably be teased in the intro and the breakdown sections more. And this is where I'm a little bit conflicted because it almost feels like your intro and breakdowns are different from your drops. In that the melodies are slightly, ever so slightly different. It's probably within the same key, but the melodies feel different enough where that it almost feels like it's two different tracks. So what I would suggest is keep the drop, the main mid bass at dun 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 dun. But in your breakdown sections, I would almost kind of mimic that melody. Dun, 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 dun. Just so that you're not only like keeping everything kind of consistent, but it also kind of introduces that main idea, um, and keeps everything kind of seamless. The reality is I want you to keep everything. Is what I'm getting at because I love all the sounds. I love all the sounds like all the pads, all the kind of other melodic elements that you're using, but primarily it's the melody. I think is what needs to kind of be dialed in. The bassline melody is perfect, but all the other melodies kind of need to match it. Is what I'm kind of getting at. That's primarily what I'm getting at. So yeah, a little bit of mimicry is kind of what I'm talking about. But yeah, lots of really fucking cool stuff in here. Oh, you had ads. Okay. Yeah, primarily, I mean, you can probably come back to the recording of this anyways. And you can just listen to everything that I said more in depth. But the main idea here is that I'm getting at is that the main bass line melody in the drop sections is perfect, both from sound design and melodically. It just sounds fantastic. Dun 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 dun. And what I was saying is that basically your intro, your breakdowns, you should basically mimic the same melody because it sounds like it's two different tracks kind of layered on top of each other. But I will say that I love the sound design on all the other kind of melodic elements, the pads, the arpeggios, all that other stuff. I just feel like everything kind of needs to be a little more seamless as far as your melodies. So kind of keep the melodies more consistent throughout the entire track with those pads, the inside the intro, the breakdowns, all that stuff, and everything's going to be a lot more seamless. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got for you. But everything here sounds fantastic. I really dig a lot of really cool stuff in here. Ear Candy, sound design. But yeah, again, this is recorded, so you can always go back. I did a lot more in depth yapping. Yeah, good job, Misguided. Hell yeah, brother. All right, we got our man's Lenny here. All right, and I got one more submission, adding this to the line. So we got Leonard Ellis, Spencer Arnold, Monia Perkin, and then Birdmask. All right, let's do Leonard Ellis here. Nice. Yeah, dude. Fucking banging. Yeah, it gives you a little bit of throwback vibes, a little bit, but I really dig a lot of what you're doing here. Very solid vocal. Really love this vocal. It really works really well in here. Um, Obviously, as always, nice drums, very solid groove, really sick vocal. I like the processing on the vocal as well. Really nice filtering in this like intro section as well as going into the break in the build. Um, Solid energy and tension in the build going into the drop. Yo, what's up? Very nice drop. I really dig a lot of the stuff that's going on there. The low end is fantastic. Very solid side chaining going on here. I really dig that lead. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, I think it works really well. And then you're kind of bringing back the vocal in every once in a while to kind of keep the interest of the listener. Really solid ear candy. I really dig that first drop for sure. Um, yes, a lot of automation work. I think yeah, that's the devil's in the details here, for sure. Um, yeah, solid arrangement overall. I think you did a good job with a lot of effects between the transitions. Nice fake out right here with the vocal on the second drop. That was very nice. Second drop, really dope. Probably my only piece of feedback, and it's something just so minor, and probably not. It's probably something that's not even entirely necessary to do, but I would say just kind of like just chop off the first 8 bars, first and last 8 bars, because I think the intro and the outro are just kind of long. Um, it's even longer than an extended mix should be, in my mind. So yeah, I would probably just chop off the first and last 8 bars. That'll probably put this track at a solid like 4 minutes or maybe like 3:45, something like that. But really, that's the only piece of feedback that I have. Everything else sounds fantastic. I think it's really, I think it's pretty much done. You can start shipping this out to labels, man. 45-second intro and outro. That's pretty long. But yeah, no, good job, Leonard Ellis. You killed it. Really, really dope tune here. Hell yeah. All right, Spencer Arnold up next. Do 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 do. Banger, banger, banger. Spencer Arnold, do you hear? I saw you a second ago. Just want to make sure you're still here. Doop 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 boop 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 boop. Doop 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 boop boop. It says you're in the chat. Spencer Arnold. Spencer Arnold. I know he was here a second ago. Do 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 do. Has the cleanest mixes. Yeah, I mean, a lot of these guys are returners, so I'd like to think that they actually take my feedback and utilize it. You know, so a lot of these people are kind of learning from their whips. Young Spencer Arnold. Spencer Arnold. Actually, I'm gonna go pee real quick. There he is. Okay, Spencer Arnold, we're gonna come back to your tune right now. I'm just gonna go pee real quick. Yeah. Ugh. Oof. All right. This is a whip. So the mix is not a V clean. You are not alone, my dude. All right. Let's do it. Nice. To be honest, debating if I try to finish this one with a vocal or something or put it in the bin. I think it's definitely worth finishing, but I do have one big suggestion, and I'll get to it. But yeah, really, let's start from the top here. Very nice kick and snare, very nice low end, of course, per usual. Really cool ear candy. I really like those kind of little pops and clicks. It almost sounds like someone's like just like making sounds with their noise, like you know. Really cool like ear candy stuff. The groove is very solid. Drums, low end, they work very seamlessly together. Very solid groove. Overall, very solid arrangement. Nothing felt quite off. Very nice transitions, nice tension in the builds. Very nice drop. I dig the sound design. Very nice variations. I really dig the ear candy. So my main piece of feedback here is that the pads and the intro and the breakdown, they almost feel like they're a different. They're playing it. It almost feels like they're playing a different melody than the subline. It feels. It just feels kind of off. So it's not that I don't like the sound. I actually do like that sound of that pad, but I think it's just the melody that feels off. So I think you kind of need to go back and redo that melody so it kind of falls in line, so that it falls more in line with the bass line that you're playing. So that it's basically, kind of going with the flow with it as opposed to kind of like going counter to it. Yeah, good song, a good sound, wrong pattern for sure. Absolutely. And then I think once you get that kind of dialed in, it'll be a lot easier to kind of fit a vocal in there for sure. So I think that, yeah, like step one, kind of just replace the melody, keep the sound, replace the melody on that pad. And then step two, it'll make it a lot easier to either find a vocalist or find a vocal that's going to fit in there. Yeah, but yeah, it's definitely worth finishing though. I don't think you need to necessarily bin this, but at the very least finish it and then kind of see where it goes from there. But I think ultimately, like, changing the melody on that pad is really going to be where you kind of pivot and figure out where you want to head with this track. Yeah, good job, Spencer Arnold. Dope tune here. Also, I had to reply back to your demo that you sent. So I'll do that after this stream for surezies. I also have to reply back to Moxie. I saw your email. I just haven't had a chance to reply back yet. Oh yeah. All right. Do we got Monia Perkin? Monia Perkin in the chat. The older Josh, not young Josh. Monia Perkin. Monia Perkin is here. How many tracks do I get per stream? I mean, every week's different. Sometimes I get like 6, and sometimes I get as high as like 20. But the reality is not everybody shows up, so not everybody gets their track listened to. So really, it's just a matter of just like people who show up and people who stick around. Yeah. All right, Monia Perkin. Let's go to your tune here. Monia Perkin. Then after that, we got Bird Mask. And then lastly, Nash Edie, I guess. Yeah, this is fucking fantastic. I'm a big fan of the Mars Volta. Before I got into like deep into like electronic music and stuff, I was deep into like rock, classic rock, blues, psychedelic rock. I listened to a fuck ton of Mars Volta. I've actually seen them like 3 times before too. They're fucking crazy. Yeah, this is fucking fantastic. Just from start to finish, it's just fucking wild. It's cool because like it almost tells a story. It kind of takes you on an adventure, even without a vocal. Like just instrumentation alone, with a lot of the guitar and the bass line, really kind of just takes you on a journey, which is really cool. Very sick intro. I love the delays on the guitar. Kind of pulls you in. The mix is very clean here. You did a really good job with the separation of all the elements. The drums definitely feel like they're in the right place. The guitars are like very front and center, very crunchy. The guitar melodies are fire. Lots of really, really nice like stop and start, which you definitely get from a lot of like progressive rock, a lot of like psychedelic rock, which is really cool. The bass is very nice. It sits very well in the mix. Um, really seamless transitions between sections. Nothing felt like it was like very kind of rushed or abrupt or kind of just like came out of nowhere. A lot of the guitar licks are just fucking wild. Just fantastic. And I like this really cool guitar solo that we got going on at the tail end. So sort of close towards the end of the arrangement here. Overall, the arrangement is very nice, very seamless, fantastic. Again, it really feels like you're telling a story here entirely with just an instrumental. My only two pieces of feedback is that this would be, I think this would be even more. Excuse me, this would be even better with the vocal. I don't think you necessarily absolutely need a vocal, but it would be, I think, even better. It sounds fantastic the way it is. But if you had a vocal, I think it would just basically just like put it on another level here. And then the second thing, as far as the mix goes, I feel like the kick could probably punch a little bit harder. We can kind of get a little bit more of a knock out of that kick. But that's just me being picky. I think that's really the only thing that really kind of stood out to me. Yeah, everything else here is mixed fantastic. Yeah, that's really it. Maybe a vocal if you can find somebody to sing some vocals on these, and then that kick can punch through a little bit more. But yeah, this was fantastic. Good job, Munia Perkin. This was lovely. In a sea of, of electronic music, this was a nice, like, little palette cleanser. Yeah. Very nice. All right. Bird Mask. We got Bird Mask and then Nash Edie. Oh, Bird Mask is here. All right. Let's do it.
get it done. Oh, done. Oh, I work to get it done. Oh, to get it done. Oh, I work to get it done. Oh,
Nice one, dude. This is fantastic. Definitely has more of like a synthwave vibe. I thought the vocal performance was lacking. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, lots of really cool stuff in here. I dig this lead. Really sick vocal. The vocal performance is actually really nice. I actually disagree with Nash Edie. Um, I think the vocal performance is very nice, but I do think, and I'm gonna get into something a little bit later. Um, I agree with that though. There needs to be some layering to it. It feels the reality is that feels like it's too clean, almost compared to a lot of the other elements around it. So we need some more like processing, some more grit to that vocal. But yeah, really nice reverb overall, both on the vocal and then a lot of your drum elements. So it kind of gives it that kind of synthwave sort of vibe. The drums are very nice. I feel like the kick could probably be a little bit more punchy, but I do like the reverb on that snare. The snare definitely hits. Feels very synthwave. I put here very solid groove. Yeah, I put here specifically the vocal processing and the drum processing feel counter to each other. Basically, that the vocal feels very clean as opposed to like the drums and a lot of the other elements feel a lot more like lo-fi. So you kind of need to get those a little bit more in line with each other. I'm gonna show you an example too, of what I mean. But overall, the arrangement's super solid. The lyrics are fantastic. The vocal is fantastic. I think the actual delivery is very nice. But yeah, you could definitely use a lot more processing and layering on that vocal. And the example I was going to show you is probably one of my favorite. I probably played this on this channel before too. It's probably one of my favorite synthwave groups is the Midnight, and I think they do this really well. They tend to use a lot of like really clean vocals, but a lot of their instrumentation, drums, kind of match the vocals really well. And you could probably use a lot of their music as reference. Vampires is a really good one, but I was going to play this one, Crystalline, because I just haven't heard it in a while.
they take off their clothes, they're soaking. Caught in a dream, her skin shines like crystalline. The body's buried under.
But yeah, obviously this one's a lot more involved. There's lots of like, saxophone, arpeggios and all that kind of stuff. But you kind of get what I'm getting at. Is basically I think the processing needs to kind of be dialed in a little bit more so everything kind of feels a lot more seamless and in the same space. Yeah. But I think the idea you have here is fantastic, though. Yeah. Good job, Bird Mask. Really digging the synthwave vibes. Hell yeah. Doobie boop boop boop. Nash Ed. Nash Ed in the chat. Am I actually saying your name right? I don't know if I'm saying it right. I don't know if that X stands for an A. All right, let's give this one a listen.
Baby, make your mind up. Ocean so deep in this bottle. Everywhere you go, just follows you. Yeah, I'm in the club tryna get it, tryna hide everything that I'm feeling, anything in my mind. I'm just sick of all this fake shit all around me. I just hate that I got enemies all around me. Remember when it was just me and you was here last week? I'm just sick of all this fake shit all around me. All around me. Feeling like a dark road. Everything just feels so cold. Yeah, I'm looking right back at it. I'm just trying to clear my mind. Everything I feel inside, I don't got no one. Baby, make your mind up. Ocean so deep in this bottle. Everywhere you go, just follows you. Yeah, I'm in the club tryna get it, tryna hide everything that I'm feeling, anything in my mind. I'm just sick of all this fake shit all around me. I just hate that I got enemies all around me. Remember when it was just me and you was here last week? I'm just sick of all this fake shit all around me. All around me. Feeling like a dark road.
Nice. Yeah, we don't get too much R&B in here, but it's always nice to get R&B. But it's like it's a nice kind of respite from all the oonts. But yeah, this was fantastic. This was just lovely from start to finish. Really solid intro, really nice intro. Love the filtering. Really nice pads, chords that you're playing here. Very nice chord progression. Very solid groove, really nice tempo. Kind of just like kind of chill, laid back kind of vibe. The vocal is absolutely lovely. I love the vocal. Really nice layering, processing, very nice ad libs. Yeah, just all around, just very nice vocal. Very nice drum sound selection, kick, snare, hats. All sounds very clean. Lyrics are great. Arrangement super solid. It was very apparent to the listener when we were getting the verse and the chorus. You could just kind of feel it in the energy. Very seamless flow between sections. And overall, just very nice low end. Yeah, I don't have a bad thing to say about this track. Zealand Ardor says everything is super solid, and I kind of wish you would get a bit weirder, more diverse with the sound palette. Totally a taste thing, though. Yeah, I mean, really, that is kind of like a taste thing. This kind of feels more along the lines of like poppy kind of stuff, so I don't think you need to get too weird. To be honest, I think you definitely the reality is I think you hit this out of the park. I think it sounds fantastic. You could definitely release this as is as a single, um, or if I think if you're kind of building a bigger body of work, this could definitely work as like um, as part of an album, EP, what have you. But yeah, it sounds fantastic. Good job, great job, absolutely dope tune. Honestly, this is a really good way to end the stream. To be honest, this last submission, anyways. So yeah. Thanks everybody who joined the stream tonight. Very awesome tunes. Um, thanks for your submissions. I will be back again next Monday, same time, same place, 7 p.m. Pacific here on Twitch. Follow me and my label on all the things that's in the chat there. And yeah, hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Monday night. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week. I'll see you guys next week. Have a good one. Peace.